we have here is an extraordinary train station. It contains a train that's blowing out a lot of smoke around the piece. It's meant to be one of Paris's largest and busiest train terminals, to this day even.
Claude Monet, the author of this piece, really outdid himself. Instead of focusing on his usual, more natural elements, he changes his usual formula with this piece, focusing on more urban elements.
It's not just a singular view of the train platform, but rather a large project of several canvases which portray different facets of the St. Lazare.
To me, this painting is a display of Claude Monet's mastery, as he still manages to capture some of the natural beauty found in his other paintings, even though the subject matter is anything but natural.
It's most definitely non-formulaic and non-natural, seeing as it's supposed to convey the style of Impressionism. This style was very common in this post-Impressionist age, where the style had first sparked.
This carries over to the meaning of the piece. I find it very interesting because it feels very symbolic of global changes at the time. First of all, it shows the evolution of all of this new technology and how it helps people by depicting a train station.
It has this dreamy quality characteristic of Impressionist pieces due to the way it plays with light. You can see these dreamy blues of the sky and fog, the diffusion of light in the figures, and soft fluid lines that form as your eyes trace up the smoke.
While we're on the topic, the smoke was a major controversial feature of the piece. A lot of people think that there's an excessive amount of smoke. They claim that it covers up the main ideas of the painting.
That is a fair criticism. The smoke does take up a lot of space. However, many would argue that it adds to the fluidity and wonder of this piece and contributes to the interesting lighting of the piece. It adds to the motion and livelihood of Impressionist pieces like this. Here, you can see Van Gogh's Starry Night. You can see the swirling nature of the sky. The swirling nature of the sky brings a lot of motion and life into the painting. You can see the way that Van Gogh mastered fluid dynamics. If we go back to Monet's Gare Saint Lazare, the smoke has a similar effect, bringing the painting into motion and giving it life. For Monet, creating this art piece was a way of showing off the advances. The train is supposed to be the center of attention in the art piece and is shown off as a fundamental change in the Industrial Revolution. He wanted to show how the event forever had changed the European society.
Yes, indeed. In fact, these trains were very important for a lot of citizens. The introduction of these new forms of transportation into Europe is one of the main driving factors that allowed countries like France truly advance and expand. Instead of having to live in a centralized area near their jobs, people could live further away and commute to work and back. It allowed residential areas to be built further and further away from workplaces. This allowed more people to live in France and work, and overall allowed the economy of France to flourish.
Monet's painting The Impression Sunrise, which was painted in 1873, had become the inspiration for the name of the artistic movement for which the artist is so well known for. In 1874, Claude Monet, Edgar Degas, Camille Pissarro, Edouard Manet, and Paul Cézanne founded the Anonymous Society of Painters, Sculptors, Printmakers, etc., along with several other artists whose works were rejected by the Salon de Paris. The group held an exhibition of their work that year in Paris. This show later became known as the First Impressionist Exhibition. Many of these works received many critical reviews, much like the Gare Saint Lazare.